It's a Saturday at coming up on 1 o'clock, and all these teachers are going out to learn about salmon on the Salmon River. And we're doing this all for you!
Again, I'm Duncan Berry, and I am one of the board members at the Westman Stewardship Group. And this year has been a real kickoff year for us. We've been a noun, we've been a place to go for a lot of people for a lot of years. We've been managing and stewarding the property for the last 7 years. Before that, it was the YWCA for almost 75 years. And we've spent the last 6 or 7 years really building boats, buying motors, losing motors, fixing up our facilities, and hosting a lot of others to come to the site. Now we're starting, as of this year, our outreach into the community in terms of education. And what we really know best is we know stewardship and we know sense of place. We are not scientists. We're not grounded either in literary the literary aspects of education or the science aspects, but we do know place, and so we're really encouraging teachers of Lincoln and Tillamook County to get out into some really incredible circumstances that we have here. And one of those is that we have salmon running up our streams and rivers. And so today was a welcome back to the salmon, and our intention is to reveal really 3 aspects of their cycle, and that is the spawning cycle, and the time that they harden off in the river, the Salmon River, and this estuary, and then their cycle in the Pacific. So we're going to cover all 3 of those today. I wasn't ready to do an introduction today because Matt has been really driving our whole educational program, but this is part of our Ocean Literacy Coalition with the Oregon Coast Aquarium, Willamette University, Nesquin Valley School, and the Lincoln County School District. And with that, here's Matt.
All right.
So, Matt, I was filling in, dude.
You're filling in? I think you're here to fill in.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, excuse me.
You introduced these guys.
Yeah. So I just sort of teed it up, and we're ready to pretty much introduce Conrad and let him run with it. What we're going to do.
So my name is Conrad Gowell. I'm just graduated from the University of Puget Sound, and I've worked with the University of Washington Fisheries Research Institute for the last 6 years. When I talk about salmon, I like to start in the ocean because it's the most unknown component of salmon biology. They go out to the ocean, it's this big black hole where some of them in their first year of life will go all the way over to Japan. Imagine a fish that big swimming across the Pacific Ocean in its first year of life. It's pretty incredible. In the Salmon River, we have small traces of all 5 Pacific salmon: chum salmon, Chinook salmon, a few sockeye salmon will stray in as well, pink salmon, and then of course steelhead as well. So right now the Chinook salmon are coming in, and a few coho or silver salmon, and we'll see those a little bit later today. But in the ocean, the juveniles head out through the estuary, and they go in this big cycle. There's this big oscillation in the ocean that goes up into the Gulf of Alaska, and there's some stocks that head up into the Gulf of Alaska, some of them that feed off of BC, some of them that just feed off the Oregon coast, and it depends on which year of life they are in the ocean, where exactly they go to feed. And then they'll spend anywhere from 1 to 5 years out in the ocean, and then return, and as adults they will enter the rivers. There's a huge diversity in salmon. In run timing, size, biological diversity is the rule, not the exception. And so right now the Chinook are entering, and they will be pairing up, and they'll be spawning as early as just about now and as late as into February, and for the Chinook salmon. So after they have entered the fresh water, they will pair up with normally 1 or 2. The females pair up with 1 or 2 males, and sometimes there's a very small male called a jack salmon, which is an immature fish that kind of comes back and will spawn with these huge salmon. It'll only be 12, 18 inches. So there's different strategies, and again, that just goes to show you the diversity of life history patterns in salmon. So they will come back and they will dig out these redds, which are basically salmon nests, and those salmon nests are where they will deposit their eggs. They will dig a redd out with their tail and their body by kind of hitting it with their side. Hopefully we'll be able to show you some spawning later on today. But they will hit the gravel, make a nest, and then deposit the eggs. The male will come over and fertilize the eggs, and then the female will move up a little ways and dig another nest and covering the previous nests. So it's pretty critical that there's water flowing through these eggs to provide them with oxygen. And then the eggs will develop based on degree days. So what the temperature of the water is depends on how long it takes for them to develop. And as those eggs develop, they will, start to grow eyes, and then they will start to have a tail, and then use that yolk sac that's still attached to their body, basically on their stomach, to feed off of until they're free-swimming organisms. And once they're free-swimming organisms, they can feed on little particles in the water, and then macroinvertebrates, and then they'll stay in the river for, well, sometimes they will exit the river right away, and sometimes they will take off in 1, 2, or 2 years. And so once they do that, they will come down. Sometimes they rear in the estuary, sometimes they go straight onto the ocean, where we don't know a whole lot about where they go a lot of the times. So there's a lot of effort being put forth in the fisheries research to try and figure out just exactly what is happening to them in the ocean.
I want to introduce Paul Caton, though, who's chair of the Salmon Drift Creek Watershed Council, which is also really our powerhouse stewardship group, taking care of our estuary and the streams. And they do exciting work. In fact, just this fall, they dumped all these logs in my backyard. I mean, it's my neighbor's backyard. And basically created this new habitat for salmon. And voila, when the spawn started, I had these big, hens and bulls. I don't know what they're, yeah. And doing their thing on the rocks, and it was amazing. And I brought my kids out, and they've got salmon fever. And but Paul, do you want to say anything about?
Basically, what the Watershed Council is involved with is what Conrad talked a little bit about, logging and the issues and the sediment coming down out of the hills. And today we'll be looking at the projects that we did in the estuary. Basically, when this was when the settlers came in here, they diked a lot of this grassland here to make farmland, so they could run their cattle, and that reduced the amount of habitat that these fish could get into on the side channels or get up to the side streams. And we'll point out some of that. Right now, just right here next to Tonight Park is the latest project, the project we did just this summer. So it's the latest restoration project, so as we go out of here, we'll point out some of the work that we did here and how things are already very visibly changing as a result of the work we did just this summer.
So this is the Salmon River Fish Hatchery. We've been here since 1974. We raise 4 different types of fish here. We raise the fall chinook that we'll mostly be focusing on here today and looking at. We raise Silet's steelhead, rainbow trout, and coho that go to the Youngs Bay for their buoy tin fishery there. So basically, I'm just going to kind of walk you through the life cycle of the fish and how we do it here at the hatchery.
Well, this watershed forms a giant question mark. It's curled up against the coast range. It's only 30 miles long. So myself and another group of people last year, the same time, walked from the headwaters all the way to the sea. And so what we're going to do is just take a few snapshots of that and dwell in the middle in what we call the salmon zone, where we discovered last year the same time, just up here at Slick Rock Creek, which is about a minute and a half from here, we found a lot of native Chinook. So as we all know where we are, Central Coast, this is that incredible sort of curled up question mark. So starting up here in a place called Lost Meadow, and then this is where we were this morning.
Well, do you see one?
Yeah, we thought we saw a pair.
What now, Bruce? You said if we wouldn't see any. Huh?
So we saw there's a pair right over there, and they're digging they're digging a red or they're laying eggs. You can see her. She's right there. You see that dark line right there? There's 2 of them together. You'll see them move up. Just wait. There's a pair, and they're right together, right there. See them? There's two of them right together. It just looks like rocks, but you'll see them moving.
Oh, way up on the
right
edge.
underneath.
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Dangling. Yeah, see they're coming up now?
Yeah. I do.
Your bright-eyed colleague found them.
I don't think I can get this in the video,
no,
but
this isn't exactly primo. I'll tell you, if you want to
right
come back
there,
up, we'll go
there
later.
they are. Yeah, no, I got it pretty good. Look at
I want to
this.
come back when there's more.
You see him?
Oh yeah.
Going back down.
Wild fish.
There
You know what we
it
should do
is.
is we should come back up here in a week or two when it really drops and
Okay,
take
tell
video
us.
underwater.
Yes, we got
I'll give you my email.
GoPros.
You can email me. We'll be here.
That would be really fun.
We got GoPros.
Oh really?
Yes, we got
Nice.
4 of them.
Nice.
We have
We do GoPro videos.